जगह सिमट रे, मत बिखर इधर उधर, तू एक जगह सिमट रे। भागे फंद करम बंद, पल में जाए कट रे। राम 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 राम। राम को विसार के फिरे है मारा 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 मारा। राम को विसार के फिरे है मारा मारा। मारा राम को विसार के फिरे है मारा 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 मारा। एक हाथ नाव राम, दूजा है किनारा। राम की शरण में आ, राम की शरण में आ, चरण से जा लिपट रे। राम की शरण में आ, चरण से जा लिपट रे। हम के बंद करम बंद, पल में जाए कट रे। राम 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 नाम रट रे। हम के बंद करम बंद, पल में जाए कट रे।
There isn't the video. They're not meant to. Oh, I see. This was just meant to be sound, and the picture of Mother.
राम राम राम।
Oh, I don't want to be seen.
राम राम राम।
How do I?
राम राम।
Oh, my video.
There is a mute button.
Oh, thank you. Okay. 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 Thank you. Okay. Bye.
In this devotional song, the poet says that there is no need of going to the holy temples. It is the God which is within you. Pray to that God. It's no use wasting your time and traveling from one temple to another. You should be yourself enlightened by yourself. ऊंचा ऊंचा सब चले, ऊंचा ऊंचा सब चले, नीचा चले ना कोई। ऊंचा ऊंचा सब चले, नीचा चले ना कोई। तुलसी नीचा जो चले, तुलसी नीचा जो चले, सबसे ऊंचा हो। इसमें सब कुछ आई, तीरथ कहाँ जाना मेरे भाई, तीरथ कहाँ जाना मेरे भाई। कपड़े पहने दाढ़ी मूछ मुंडाए हो रंग रंग के कपड़े पहने दाढ़ी मूछ मुंडाए जटा बढ़ाई बबूल लगाई जटा बढ़ाई बबूल लगाई ये सब जग ठगवाई तीरथ कहाँ जाना मेरे भाई तीरथ कहाँ जाना मेरे भाई तीरथ कहाँ जाना मेरे भाई
I have no words really to thank these great masters of
Not that one. So now the other one. Make this come up. Now back the picture. Hang on, let me just I'll get rid of that one. No, yeah, but because I want this one. This one is, yeah, okay. So I can share it. Can I share this one? This one?
You just want the sound.
Yeah, but I'm not sharing it yet. Okay. Good evening. Can people hear me? I hope so. Please raise your kundalini and put on a bandhan. Good evening. And bow down to Shrimataji if you haven't already done that. Before we do anything else, let's just say together the mantra for Shri Ganesha just one time. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. And keeping your attention on the top of your head. Just drop your right hand towards the ground. And let all the tiredness from the day go into the Mother Earth. We don't need to say any mantras. Now, with your right hand back on your lap and your left hand up and facing backwards. Again, we can let all the heat, excessive heat that we've built up in the day, out into the ether. Now with both your hands back on your lap, put your attention on your central channel, the Sushumna Nadi. And here we can first bow down and say the mantra to Shri Mata Gauri Nirmala Kundalini Sakshat, to the Kundalini. Bow down to this Kundalini who looks after us all the time, who protects us, who clears all our problems. Shri Mata Gauri, Shri Mata Gauri Nirmala Kundalini Sakshat. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mata Gauri Nirmala Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. One of the names of the Kundalini is Shri Naga Kanya, the Virgin Serpent. So we can also say this mantra. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Naga Kanya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Now today we have a talk by Shri Mataji from 1980, the 17th of May. It's quite a long talk, so I feel it's a useful talk, so let's just listen and in meditation, and I'll share the screen. It's an audio, so actually, a new share, sorry, you have to bear with new share, and then this one, yeah, okay, and then I can go, sorry, yeah, there, yeah, or is it there? No, it's there. Is it?
We must know that Sahaja Yoga.
Sorry, I'll make it big.
Is a living process. It is the same type of a process by which a seed sprouts into a tree. It is a living process. So it is God's job. But He has to do it. It is not your job. To sprout the seed is His job. But the problem comes in because at this stage where human being is the seed, he has freedom. They have freedom. With that freedom, they can spoil his manifestation, his work. So the first thing one has to remember that we must have wisdom about it. The first point of wisdom is that it is God Almighty who is going to do this job. We are not doing it. You cannot sprout the seed. Then how can you sprout your seed also? And in that wisdom, we must learn one thing and know within ourselves that you are part and parcel of the whole process. Though you have your own freedom, freedom also is a part and parcel of the same process. You are not separated from God. You do not have any separate entity. You are part and parcel of that whole process. Alright? So, to think that you have to decide something about it is also wrong. You are in the same machinery, brought to this stage when you are given freedom for your further evolution. So at this stage, when you have your freedom, you must know that freedom was to be given to you to understand the value of freedom. And in that freedom, you must understand what is glorious for you. Once you understand that, then you tell yourself that now, see, I have to become something more. That's why God has done this. Only thing I have to do is to completely coordinate, cooperate and surrender to His will. So that I become. This is the first preparation we have to make. In that surrendering, you will do the greatest thing. Because by that, you do not interfere with His work. Unless and until you surrender, you cannot have the wisdom. So first of all, you understand this through your little wisdom that you have, and then you will have the full wisdom. First of all, understand this with the little wisdom that you have, that without surrendering, you will be obstructing the ways of God. He knows what is good for you. He wants to give you the highest, which you cannot achieve yourself. He is going to give you the highest. If you want to achieve it, you cannot achieve it. It is His doing. It is His dan, as you call it. His gift to you. In that case, you must know that best way to achieve it is to allow His working to work out. Now when you think of surrendering, first of all, the brainwave starts working. What do I surrender? You think by surrendering, say, your material wealth. That's not what He wants. It's all wealth He has given to you. What is He going to do? It's equal to the even dust particle of His feet. So, that one is not going to help. Sometimes you may feel that I should give my intelligence, or that is what is asked. Nobody wants to have your idiots and stupid people. So you don't give up your intelligence. Then some people think that I give up my heart. Alright, some people say, we don't want heartless people either. Then some people will say that Mother will give up our, what you call the relationships with others. That also is not needed. Because your heart should be there where it is. The light has to come in your heart. What can you give your heart to when the one who has given you the heart was use of giving him back the heart? Is it? The one who has given you intelligence was use of giving you. Something that you have achieved yourself has to be given. What have you achieved is your ego and your super ego. What you have achieved is nothing but your ego. And this ego you have to give. which is a difficult task. Ego, if it comes, say, out of money, material things, it is better you give up some material things. Not to God, but somebody else. It's better. If the material things are creating that thing. If your intelligence is creating ego, that you think you have a very high IQ, it's better to bring it down a little. It is for you to judge. Watch yourself. What makes your ego bloated? If you could start looking at your ego, you'll be amazed that any useless thing can bloat it. And can also deflate it. It can get hurt for nothing at all. It becomes so important. Then the superego part of it also goes. That is what also you have to give. And in superego, you can have your conditionings due to your gurus and wrong types of doings and wrong types of conditionings you have had from childhood. Like, for example, somebody is a Catholic, you see. For him, Pope is everything. Or somebody is a Hindu. For him, a particular temple is everything. All these are conditionings. Why they are conditioning? That without finding out the truth about them, you have just accepted them as it is. This is the simple thing. So, if you can find out the truth about all these things, you will give it up. You may not. There are many people who know the truth, still they do not give up. See, human beings are complicated stuff. Even if they know the truth, they will not give up. But supposing you try to find the truth about all these things, then you may give, may not give. But going back into the whole thing, to find out each and everything, make a schedule of the whole thing, that morning time I'll find out about this and evening time about this. Whole your life you'll go on finding one by one, and ultimately you will find that you have gone now up to the grave. So that procedure also is not going to help you. By God's grace, you are realized souls. And you can find out in a second whether you are on a conditioning side or not. If your left is catching, you are conditioned. If your right is catching, you are on ego trip. Alright, so you know very simple method is to know that through vibrations you can find out Mr. Ego is there or superego is there, or you are wobbly. This is the biggest thing we have got, because this is my preparation. My preparation is this, that first give you realization. First give you realization. Once you are realized, then I won't have to say much. If you are conditioned on the left side, you will get pains, this, that. If you are conditioned on the right hand side, you will have problems with health or something. So you will come to me and I will be able to tell you. This is my own preparation. Is to make you alert and aware. So that you have light to see things. Now your preparation should be to use this awareness all the time. Further, I will go to say that to use this knowledge within you all the time, that people forget. So the first, we must know that this preparation has been done for us. We have got the vibrations, we have got the knowledge to verify, and we must use this. That you are in a new dimension is the first acceptance. If you have that acceptance within you, then your judgment will be better. But this acceptance is missing. Now there is in Sanskrit the word abhyas, that every day doing the same thing in that manner, you will remember that you are realized. And that your awareness is not that of the awareness of ordinary people. So first preparation is to prepare yourself, to tell yourself that you have this new awareness within you, is to make yourself known. You see, in the university when you graduate, there is a ceremony held for that. You have to go with a gown, and they give you a proper role and all that. Why is it necessary? Because you may forget you are a graduate. Yes. And that's exactly what happens to you, that you forget you are realized souls. I mean, we have had a ceremony in the sense that, everything we have done to prove that you are realized. But this is what is missing from our people, that they cannot understand that they are realized souls, that they are people who are on a level that nobody is. You are twice born people who are very, very rare. Very rarely you will find people who are twice born. But I found nobody. Can you imagine? All my lifetime. Except for my father and few here and there. They are not to be counted because my father I chose and that's all. So, first of all, if you make yourself known to your own intelligence that I am a realized soul, you'll be seeing that your priorities will be changing very fast. Supposing somebody gives you a huge big property or a huge big wealth, immediately become conscious of it. If you start walking like this, when you are a student, you walk like this. Suddenly you get the degree, you walk like this. What about realization? So happy to see you here. Very happy. May God bless. What about your realization? Now you got your realization. Then what are you doing about it? This is the first preparation, is of identifying that you are a realized soul. We have to talk in a different way. We are realized souls now. We are people of a different knowledge. We are people of a different awareness. As I told you, now see this beautiful building is, we all are enamored by it and it looks very beautiful. It's done so well, beautifully, and it's very important for human beings, alright? But for the divine, even this green leaf is more important than the whole building put together and all such buildings put together. For the divine. Because that leaf is living. And a bird which is more aware than that leaf is much more important to the divine. So you, the human beings who are now aware to this extent how much important you must be to divine. How much God Himself must be interested in you, just think of it. Once you recognize this point, then relatively you will also know that you are very important in God's plan. Not world plan I am talking. It is God's plan. So all the forces of his blessings and all his lieutenants, all of them are with you to help you, to support you, to give you whatever you like. You are on the stage and they are looking after you. I mean, now you have entered on the stage. But I find Sahajogis, once they get realization, I don't know what happens to them, that if they give up their ego, then they become like absolutely, you see, I don't know what you call them, bananas? Or each one of you is the special one created by God. Now you see for yourself. Just think of yourself. I mean, you are the ones who know such a lot about life. Even if you get little bit possessed, doesn't matter. But you know that you are possessed. Now think of it. This is the second preparation one has to have, is understanding that it is God Almighty Himself worried about you. He sent everybody to help you. Go ahead. So you don't have to worry about your money. Don't have to worry about all other things. The third thing comes automatically. That you don't have to worry about all these things at all. They'll be looked after. We all are being looked after, you know that. Everyone has been helped. But if you know that He is Almighty, and is His compassion, and that you have fallen into His grace, think of it. Establish yourself at that point. This is the preparation one has to have. That He is the one who has given all this. Then the modern Sahajogis are specially blessed because they have a walkie-talkie with them. Any problem that they have are handled in form, in person. There was never such a blessing before. But ego is the point. How to begin with, it is ego. You have seen it. If you have ego, you will not accept you are a realized soul. Imagine how silly it is. If you have a super ego also, you will not recognize it. You will go back to the same position as you were. You will never accept that you are a realized soul if you have a super ego. You will never accept. Oh, how can it be, mother? After all, you see, I'm an ordinary human being. You will go on like this. How can I cure others? How can I give realization? It is not possible. You see, this kind of a humility, nonsensical. I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's like a sober saying, oh, how can I kill? It's like that. It has no meaning. This kind of a humility has no meaning for you. How can I do it, mother? What can I do? Oh, I'm no good. I'm of no use. This language must be given up. When it is ego, then it is even worse. You can harm yourself and you can harm Sahajog at the extreme point. Egoistical people are extremely difficult. They are such a drag because they try to do everything through their intelligence and understanding and this and that. And such a rambling goes on and on and on, and you try to pull them back again, they go by. It's so boring, very boring. Because, I see the stuff, supposing. I know this is it. I want you to have it. And between taking this cup to the lip, every time you're pulling it out, every time you're pulling it out. Now, how am I to take it to your lip? It's very boring. And this egoistical temperament is very prevalent in the West, surprisingly. But I just don't understand. They can take to all kinds of filth, all kinds of perversions without arguing about it, Just take to it. Any kind of perversion. What's wrong? But it is, for them, the most strong thing is to be accepting the fact that you are a realized soul through Sahajog. They'll take anything else, but not the truth. This ego is like a horse sitting on your head. You have to sit on the horse, and the horse is sitting on your head. You are carrying the load of the horse. Imagine. What is the sense in such a thing? If you start analyzing yourself, again you go into another trip. You see, here there have been such trippers, like Jack in the Box, because you have been taking trips after trips, there's sort of a spring. You try to see your ego, you go on a trip of superego. You try to see your superego on a trip of, a person who has been bouncing all the time, sort of, to this trip or that trip or that trip or that trip, It's just like a person traveling all the time doesn't know whether he has to get down or has to go further. It's like that. The habit of the mind is so egoistical that you just take the ride on the thing. But the thing is, it is not that you take the ride, but the ego takes you on a ride. And whenever there is any such a thing coming up, it grabs you. And the progress is extremely slow. Now the trouble with the divine is that it has its own protocol. If the king has to come to your house, you have to go and invite the king. The king doesn't write to you that, please invite me to your house, does he? That's why he's king, after all. And he doesn't implore people that, please invite me. This Mr. Ego expects that you should be invited by the divine. That divine must go out of the way to fetch you out. Ego, in simple words, is nothing but absolutely wrong ideas about one's own value. By which you think that I am everything. What are you? Now don't go on to super ego trip. What are we? Nothing. We cannot even sprout the seed. Every day-to-day life you can see this clearly. How ego jumps up. Supposing somebody says, that British have these qualities. One feels very happy. Oh, what a praise it is. What a praise for British. Oh, we are British immediately. Somebody says that British lack these qualities. Finished. You are absolutely, then that person is the worst person in the whole world. First of all, you must know that neither you are British nor Indian nor anything. You are just human beings. Ignorance is responsible for this ego. It is complete ignorance about yourself gives you this ego. So, once we are going towards light, we must know what are our hurdles. Is the preparation? Is the ignorance that we have about ourselves? That's why we are going to see ourselves. And because of the ignorance, ego and superego both have come on to us. So at least we'll have nothing to do with them. I mean, supposing you have to go on the Himalayas. Alright? There you are going for an expedition. You are supposed to carry the lightest things that you have. You don't carry 3 luggage of tiffin carriers, 4 luggage of this, and 5 things of that to have a nice little bed there and sleep over. All that you leave here. In the same way, when you are going on the expedition of knowing yourself, all that is loading up yourself must be put down. So again we come to ego and super. Actually these two are terrible elephants which must be kept down on the ground. So we make our own study. You see, these preparations are needed because we have already gone on this side too much or that side too much. So the preparation is to bring you down, come along here, now you stand in the center, or you bring you down here and stand in the center. The preparation is nothing but is just to bring you down here, that's all. So with ego, we move on and see what the ego has subtler and subtler and subtler forms. Even in superego, you have subtler and subtler and subtler forms. To understand ego, you must see what do you plan about your life. It's very easy. What are your plans about future life? To understand your superego, you must know what affects you very much. What makes you very unhappy. Or you can say what makes you more happy and what makes you more unhappy. Both things, happiness and unhappiness, are the shadows of these two trees. One is ego and another is superego. Just watch yourself. What makes you very happy? Good clothes, good living, or when your name appears in Who's Who, or all such nonsensical things which makes you laugh, you see, all that. You just see that. What makes you unhappy? When, some sort of a heartbreak and this and that, you see all this kind of a nonsense. Both things are not yourself. They are just outside. So what is inside, if you have to find out, first the outside must be taken away. If you have to taste the fruit, you take out the outside, you peel it out. In the same way, this must be peeled out. Now this you should see within yourself and without also. You can see it very clearly without. It's very easy. How you deal with others is the point. What is your relationship with others? It is easier to know this outside than inside, perhaps. When you talk to others, what is the impact they have from you? Are you appreciated by others or not? Among Sahajogis, do you respect another Sahajogi as a Sahajogi or not? Do you expect that whatever stage you are, the other Sahajogi will also come up and he must be given the due respect? Also, you must see that when any Sahajogi who has achieved something or who is at a better level tries to pull you up, you like it or resist it or get upset about it. If somebody tells you this should be done, that should be done, do you take it as if he has abused you? If he is telling you about Sahajoga, you should be thankful. I mean, in all normal way. I feel thankful to you if you tell me something that concerns Sahajoga. Anything. Even if you tell me, Mother, this may not be all right, if you say, you see, the human beings are like this, I accept it. And I do it according to your wishes. Or do you like it or not? This is how you'll judge your ego. This is only your Mr. Ego. Actually, it is better to have another person to fight your ego and yourself, both put together. If somebody tells you that this should be done, oh, I see, I have been doing like this, all right, you come and help me. Pull me out. Work it out. Try and help me. I'm horrible. That's the way. If you do it, you can get over this ego. But the other person should know you are very nice, all right, do what you please. And then you feel happy. This person is not so all right and you are not so all right. Because you have to pull out people. For example, if you understand that we are in a crisis, we are in an emergency. People are getting drowned and some people are trying to pull them out. They themselves are halfway down, halfway up. They are trying to pull you out. At that time they say, hold my hand now. If you feel upset about it, then you are not wise. Now, in Sahajoga, there is no leader as such. I mean, nobody is appointed as leader. Anybody tries to do that, he goes down. But there is an innate leadership within, and such a person is extremely humble and congenial and appealing and commanding too. Has to be commanding. And one should not feel bad at that time. Because if he says go and steal something, or you go and join one of these nonsensical things, then of course he is wrong. But if he is saying that in Sahajoga I have to come up, even dominatingly if he says, I mean it's a very good thing, I would say. Supposing somebody is in your neighborhood who is always criticizing, in a way it's a blessing. Because there's somebody who is criticizing and is trying to perfect us. I mean, we should think it's not to feel bad about it. Supposing somebody is saying something about you, if it is not true, then what is there to feel bad? If he is telling lies about you, there's nothing to be frightened about. If he is telling the truth, then you have to be thankful. Though sometimes the truth could be very unpalatable, could be very, very bad, but it's a good thing. There's a saying in Marathi, Nindakache ghara asave shezari. Keep the house of the person who is a nindak, backbiter, the one who backbites. Keep the house of such a man who is your backbiter next to you, next door. That you know your defects. You correct yourself. Is the wise attitude. Because you cannot correct yourself, so have a mirror by which you correct yourself. I mean, you should thank such a man that he is criticizing you. See, by pampering you, if he is going to completely destroy you, what's the use? This is what the gurus are doing. They are all pampering you and destroying you. And ultimately you find it, or you have been befooled. So if you accept a situation in which you say, all right, if this is what is going to be the truth, it's very much better for my ego. And if it is not the truth, then what is so important? This attitude helps in Sahaja Yoga very much. A very wise attitude towards oneself is. And you'll be surprised as you'll grow with this attitude. You won't be easily hurt by what people say to you. You won't bother. You know how much people criticize me and say all kinds of things, argue with me, and I'm not bothered because I know they're foolish. What is there? They're stupid people. What is there? Even if they praise me, what is it? After whatever they praise me is by nature, nothing so great. See, it makes no difference. I'm just watching my chakras working. I'm not bothered. In the same way it will happen. Then you will not be bothered. But this will help your unloading. This will help your unloading. And the unhappy part of it. In that we should prepare ourselves in a way that nothing can make me unhappy. What can make me unhappy if I'm a realized soul? See.
Right, so it stopped. Okay. Now I want the other one. I want just to be able to speak. Hello. I'm going to stop the talk there because it's quite a lot longer and we're getting near the end of the meditation. I hope you'll have the time to find it and to watch it yourself because it's amazing. Let us finish the meditation first. We'll sing the Maha Mantras, 3 Maha Mantras. So let's put our attention on our top of our heads. In our hearts we bow down to our Mother. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Trigunatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Sakshat Shri Kalaki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalaki Sakshat Shri Saraswara Swamini Moksha Pradayini Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Bolo Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Ki Jai. Now we can bow down to our mother and then raise our Kundalini and put on a bandana. So good night, everybody. I'm not going to play any music. If you want to stay in silent meditation afterwards, that's fine. But I'm just going to say good night.